Hello, welcome to the daily tarot readings here on the Black and Orange channel. I'm here to take your 12 tarot questions every day at 12 noon Central Time in the US, Chicago time. So I am here with my notebook and my pen and my cards. Just put your question in the chat in all caps. It's kind of first come, first serve around here. Thank you for being here. Thank you. And let's see. Anything that's in all caps I know is for me. Other than that, please just type normally. Please just type normally so that, because people have whole conversations and are very supportive of each other. Whatnot. Kristen from Uncover the News is reminding me, Black and Orange Tarot and Astrology is brought to you by YouTube and viewers like you. Absolutely true. I love that. That is fantastic. And it's true. So, where am I? I'm right here. I'm right here. Yeah, I'm right here. Okay, so if YouTube dumps a bunch of comments in and suddenly I'm, I've missed your question or what have you, please just post it again, put a YT in front of it, and I'll know that YouTube cut it off earlier. I don't think what else. 10% of all income that comes into the channel goes to feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. It's an ongoing thing. Is that it? My co-host is Boo Boo Zen Kitty, who has been sleeping in the cat tree in the other room. Well, one of the cat trees in the other room, because the cats have 3 of them. Anyway, but he may come in and out. So, Boo Boo. Bailey Boo Boo Zen Kitty is his full name. And the orange cat, if you see him, is his full name is Brave Sir Alfred of Pumpkin. So Alfie, Pumpkin. Yeah. All right. Okay. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so I've got space here for your questions. I'm gonna scroll up. I'm gonna look for anything in all caps. I don't do personal, I don't do personal readings here, I'm afraid. Actually, I don't do them in general at the moment, but things don't have to be politics, but the politics are gonna get the priority, just so you know. If we have time, we'll tack some other ones on there. Okay. Going up to the top of the chat. All right. Kristen from Uncover the News is sharing that due to the UK's COVID-19 restrictions, only 30 people will be able to attend Prince Philip's funeral. Also, that Pelosi says she won't bring a bill to expand the Supreme Court to the floor. Okay. Never says, I have never caught a full live show before, usually only see the ending or the replay. Well, welcome. Okay. Let's see. I'm looking for anything in all cats. Lois saying, hello, everybody. Hello, Lowell. And still looking. M. Kelpie is saying, happy Friday, everyone, but are you in Australia or something? It's Thursday here. Or in Chicago. It's Thursday in Chicago. Yeah, the days are just packed. All right, there's Anne. Hey, good morning, Autumn. How is the United States debt to China of $1.4 trillion going to affect the U.S. economically? Will they try to influence us in any way? Okay. Very important question that does not get looked at enough. All right, how will this is $1.4 trillion debt to China affect us economically? Well, it's a huge drag. I can tell you that. It's a huge drag on the economy. Economically, will they try to influence us? Okay. That will be number 1. Got it. All right. Number 1. We're looking at the national debt in China and whatnot. And so, okay. Thank you, Anne. Okay. Velma's mama, let them. GOP refuses to believe in climate change. It will be underwater. Okay. It was in all caps, but I don't think it was from me. Uncover the news today in history. The Titanic sinks. Oh. Holly Booth, will Russia retaliate due to the new sanctions? Oh, okay. Okay. Will Russia retaliate due to the new sanctions? Okay. All right. Thank you, Holly. That'll be number 2. Can you read on... Sorry, Holly Booth, will Russia retaliate due to the new sanctions? Got that. Velma's mama, Autumn, can you read on the South Florida and climate change, rising seawater? Oh, dear. South Florida, climate change, and rising seawater. That'll be number 3. Glug, glug. Linda, will Kamala be president? Well, that would be number 4. Will Kamala be POTUS? Got it. That'll be number 4. Thank you, Linda. Okay. Marcy, will Afghanistan be able to keep terrorist groups in check after the U.S. and allies depart? Okay. Will. I looked at Afghanistan after we leave yesterday, but I didn't specifically look at this. So let's have a look at this. Well, Afghanistan. Terrorist groups. In check after U.S. leaves. Okay. That'll be number 5. We'll look at that. Thank you. Let's see here. All right, so that's from Marcy. I've got that down. Never has a question. What will the fallout be for the new no permit gun law in Tennessee? No training, no permit. Anyone over 21 can carry a gun. I live here. There are far too many MAGAs of here for something to be safe. Oh dear. Tennessee. No permit gun law. My stomach, I just get queasy at just the thought. Man. Oh, ugh. All right, we'll look at that. Never. That'll be number 6. All right, Joel Greenberg is given a new plea deal if he flips. Will he? Okay, Greenberg. New plea deal. I don't know what the timing is exactly. It doesn't have to be like new. It can be recent. New plea deal. Flip like a pancake. All right, we'll look at that. That'll be number 7. Thank you, JLo. Hello, Sherry. Kenya, will we get more stimulus? Okay. Number 8. Will we get More stimulus. Got it. All right, that'll be number 8. Thank you, Kenya. Just looking. Kenya, will those cops be found guilty? Oh, I hate to even say this. Which ones? I looked at Kim Potter yesterday. Yeah, Kim Potter yesterday. I look at Chauvin. There's always a new one. It's appalling. Sorry. B. Smith, love the... I don't know what that means, but the theme today or color something. I think you mean these the whole thing. Thank you. I appreciate that. B. Smith, love the springtime color theme today, Autumn. Here we go. Thank you. Okay. So I've got new comments, so it may have cut some questions off. Sorry. What's the next one I've got? Oh, it may not have cut things off. I've got that question. Yes, I've got these questions here. Stimulus, got that. Oh, good. Nobody got cut off. Thank you for anything in all caps. Okay, Mitzi, who will be Canada's next prime minister? O'Toole is Trumpy. Trudeau is not. Marcy, how many cat trees do you have? There's one here. There's a big one here. It's an identical one in there, and then there's a smaller one in there too, by the 2 windows. Anyway. Judy saying, you think it's your house. The fur babies just let you stay there. Oh, I gave some treats this morning, and of course, give Bailey his half and half, and Boo Boo his half and half, and change out litter boxes, and I have my uses. Kevin Brazil, I love that. Spoiler alert, cat spoiler. That's what I live for. Okay, but Canada, Mitzi's asking about Canada's next PM. Is it just between O'Toole and Trudeau? I'm afraid I'm not up on the latest there. I'm so sorry. But I'll make a note here that if Canada's, if not today, then tomorrow, next PM, is it O'Toole, who is like Trump, or Trudeau? Because his cards weren't looking good the last time I looked, but it's been a while, and it just depends on who he's running against. Okay, I'll make a note. Is there anyone more than that? Just those 2 running? Okay. Kenya, will Matt Gaetz get arrested? Okay. I was reading an article this morning about the people he went to high school with and what he used to be like, and he's always been awful. Yes, he has. Will Gaetz get arrested? That'll be number 9. Thank you. Okay, Joanna, where is Kushner hiding? What is he up to? Kushner. Is Kushner up to something nefarious? I know, it's a day ending and why. Something nefarious. Let's have a look at that. That'll be number 10. All right, got space for 2 more. Hello, Book Bewitched. Kate, is universal health care in the U.S.'s future? I've read on this many, many, many times, and I don't get that. But we could look again. Let's check. It's been a while. Is universal health care... I mean, Within a reasonable amount of time, not within like the next 10 years or 20 years, not like 300 years from now. I imagine we will. But okay, senior healthcare in the U.S.'s future. Okay, that'll be number 11. I'll look at that. Thank you, Kate. And one more. Kathy Anderson, time travel? Oh, I did a video a long time ago. If you do a search on the main channel, just in the search, that little spyglass, if you go to the Black and Orange channel and just do time travel, I'm pretty sure I did a video on it. It was fascinating. But if it's not up there for some reason or you can't find it, let me know. Phi. Let's see. I'm just having a look here. Phi's saying something fun. What are chakras? How do they work? Let me make a note of that. What? Chakras. Do they work? All right. Well, I'll make a note of that. We'll see. My goodness. I'm just having a quick look to see if there's something jumping out at me. Which of these questions? Because you guys were really sweet, and you put a whole bunch of questions in one after the other, and I've got one slot left, so I was just having a look to see what's jumping out at me. I have to go by my intuition here. So, John Kelly and the Children's Centers, market crash. I don't usually read on things like that, to be honest. It tends to fall into the licensed stuff, but like medical advice, financial advice, things like that. Julie is asking, will Trump go to Leavenworth military prison? I've never had him going to prison, but to Leavenworth. Well, the irony, well, not full irony, but the whatever the closest word to irony is, concerning what if military fetish he has. And then M. Kelby was asking about Ivanka and her future. I've been getting the same kind of answer about that. Basically, her whole life diminished. Her whole family is going to protect her. The number one rule is going to be protect Ivanka. Even Trump, actually, the only time in his entire life caring about someone other than himself. I see them losing vast amounts of money, but she will marry money again in future. And it will be the wedding will be a much scaled down affair. That's what I've picked up. So, all right. Well, I've got a whole bunch of questions here. Let's just go with this. And but I'm here tomorrow. Don't forget. I'm here literally every day of the year. So let's see here. My cards here. Oh, Nancy's saying Benadryl after the vaccination. Oh, is that a thing? Two of my cards just went jumping. thing about Benadryl. It's the weirdest thing. Every time I take Benadryl, I fall asleep for exactly 4 hours, and then I wake up. Weirdest thing. It's like guaranteed. If I want to sleep exactly 4 hours, all I would have to do is take a Benadryl. So, all right, we're going to start with, we are at 2030. How will the U.S.'s $1.4 trillion debt to China affect us economically? I actually thought it was higher than that. I mean, our national debt is sitting at, and I am not exaggerating, $28 trillion. Not exaggerating. That's a thing. Terrifying. So if only 1.4 trillion of that is what China's holding, yay. Oh, I'm sorry, Holly. I've got my cards for. I've got my questions for today. And Judy, sorry. JLo, all questions are in. Saving mine for tomorrow. Sorry about that. Okay. What's going on? Hang on. Odd. Sorry, weirdness in the background. Oh well. Okay. Lowell, Autumn, you're a natural redhead. Redheads metabolize meds vastly differently than the rest of us. Only 3% of the world has red hair. Well, thank you. I have some red in my hair, but I'm not a full-blown redhead like my father, who is a carrot top redhead. But you're right. It may have something to do with it. But that's interesting. Thank you, Lowell. All right. Sorry. 22:30. All right. So 22:15. As I was saying, the U.S. debt is, and I'm not exaggerating, sitting at $28 trillion. Oh, Becca's here. Hey, Becca from House of Lenormand. Awesome. The U.S. debt is literally at $28 trillion. And if holding 1.4 trillion of the U.S. debt, that's actually better than I thought. Than I thought we were. So how is that $1.4 trillion debt that China's holding of ours? How is it going to affect us economically? Because it's a huge drag. I worked on the edges of aviation for a long time, and this feels very much like the people who are having planes go in when they go like this with the wands, with the wands, or so they go like this. It means stop. To get closer to where you're supposed to, and then right when where you're supposed to be, it's stop. Legally, laws, everything, stop taking on debt. Stop taking on debt to the U.S. Sensible advice, Emperor. And this goes all the way back to I believe it's Nixon who finally completely took us off the gold standard. I want to say, was it FDR who partially took us off the gold standard, and Nixon's the one who finally did it entirely, something like that. How is it going to affect us economically? You will notice there is not a single pentacle here. Not a single one. this feels kind of sneaking around to move money to after World War. The U.S. would be in terrible shape right now, except that after World War II, basically the US dollar became the reserve currency for the world. And that has given us an ability for stabilization of our currency, for debtors to not go after us, to make our currency important enough that we get away with doing a lot of things that other countries can't. And that's what we did. And this is, I'm sorry to say, this is an immature, not going by emotions, not looking at the hard truths about what needs to be done, what needs to sort this out. This is an irresponsible college student kind of thing. And this is communicating. We have this, I use the Sibley chart for the US, the astrology chart. It's called the Sibley chart. A man named Sibley is the one who came up with it. And it gives us a Sagittarius rising, which is putting ourselves sort of out in the world. And this is putting ourselves out in the world. This is trying to do a lot overseas. And you see these two wands here. We've been, by continuing to put ourselves out there, it's dragging us down. We're ending up hurting ourselves immensely, and we're being irresponsible. I'd like to say nice things, but $28 trillion in debt is ludicrous. It's ridiculous. Will China try to use the debt they're holding over us to influence us? Quiet as a tomb. Let's see here. They're trying to get us to back off with Taiwan and Hong Kong, and especially Taiwan. It gives them leverage over us, but at the same time, see, this is them using it to tell us to back off, because they're people they want to go after. They're the way they've crushed Nepal, the way they want to crush Taiwan, the way they are crushing Hong Kong, on and on. The genocide that's going on, just awful stuff. But at the same time, they don't want to start a war with us. They want us to back off. They don't want to push too hard, because if they lose manufacturing from the US, if they lose the economic ties they have with us, they will suffer. And right now, it feels very much like there's stuff going on internally and economically that they're worried. They're worried about. They have problems. So they are able to use it somewhat, but they're not going to just default and say, call it all in. So anyway. All right. That was the first thing today. All right. Going from China to Russia. 2930. Shuffle here. Of course, if you're going to read on Russia, you're kind of stuck reading on Putin if you read on Russia. But is Russia going to retaliate due to the new sanctions? Well, sanctions. Putin is livid. He's a little angry monster today. Is Russia going to retaliate due to the sanctions? On the one hand, they expected it. On the other hand, they're going to secretly double down. Putin saying, hide it better, but get them. Hello, Aaronson. Sanctions. You'd think they have Putin and the oligarchs have more money than they could possibly ever do anything with as long as they live. Their families could be stupidly rich for generations, but they still want more. Why? All right. Will Russia retaliate? Well, there's Biden. Hello, Joe. On the defensive, using the power of state to protect us, as he does, and but the Russians will still find a way to sneak in. It's like, this should be what it is. This lovely, like an advertisement for protection over the U.S. And here it's just sneaking a little chink in that armor, a little, take that little cup and kind of tuck it under his little arm and just kind of. So they're still. Are they going to retaliate? Yes, they're going to cyber. It feels almost entirely cyber. They're just going to be hiding better. And the Cold War continues in the form it's in. Lowell, greed begets more greed. Have a great day, Sheila. Okay. Oh, South Florida. 32, 30. All right. South Florida, climate change and rising sea levels. Not good. Isn't the highest part in the whole state only like 250 feet above sea level or something crazy? South Florida. Climate change, rising sea levels. I mean, Miami floods now. A merchant with things to bail water out of your structure business home. Fools. Yes, Republican fools. Theft. Denying climate change for money, which stole time from us that we did not have to lose. Judgment. This is an election. People having to go out in boats. Literally. Things increasingly underwater. The government having to step in to reimburse some people for lost land or something, which doesn't make much sense, but there you go. You would think they wouldn't do that. It's like, you knew there was climate change, you decided to buy here, but it's not good. It's not good. Watch her 345 feet above sea level. Thank you. I don't even know what to say about this. It's if I was going to buy land somewhere, The first thing I would do if I was going to say, I'm going to go buy land on the East Coast, well, West Coast, but East Coast or Florida or somewhere, the first thing I would do is go online and find those maps that show you if the sea level rises this amount, this is how much will be underwater. I mean, heck, I wouldn't even buy land in Massachusetts that's that close to the relatively speaking, that's close to the coast, because that will be underwater too. This is awful. White Dragon in South Florida, Miami Beach, Collins Avenues, floods on high tides and heavy rains for 1 to 2 feet. They use heavy pumps to take out the water. Yeah. Yep. I've seen that. Okay. It's bad. 36. Will Kamala Harris become POTUS, President of the United States? Kamala Harris. Will Kamala Harris become President of the United States? Now, there's a President Harris. Sounds just like the type of name you would have had, on presidents in the past. But, this is a different. Well, Kamala Harris become President of the United States. Maybe 48. Queen of Pentacles. Well, she's a Democrat. It might just be being of practical nature, and this might just be her as a person. Two of Cups, Six of Wands, Page of Swords, Ace of Wands, Seven of Pentacles. Having a look. Wouldn't she be 47? Yes, 47. You're correct. I apologize. It was the 46, 47. Well, I've got a victory card here, but these are all minor arcana. This is a lot of people who the racism and sexism. The racism and sexism has led to Republicans losing voters, but they still have some, and they might even gain some more. Some people might go back into the fold because consciously, or they'd say they would say they're not racist, but in reality, they're not racist or sexist, but in reality, they are. They're very different standards. There's not a victory card that I get very confusing cards for her. Let's see. Nancy's saying, I think she may do something financial in South America to help the border crisis. That may be Pentacles. True. True. So, President Kamala Harris. Fights, arguments, people coming out against her. Surprise. I don't know why, but I'm not getting it. They're going to attack every decision she makes. They're going to, but there's higher wisdom here, but there's some kind of disappointment legal decision made leads to something going wrong, but she's still in good. There's going to be a lot coming out over these next 4 years, so we'll check back. Electra, I think it's still early. Saying I think it's still early. The energy's too confused. I think you're right. Because when the other times I've looked at this, what I was getting was that it was that she was so busy doing what she was doing that I wasn't even really getting an answer. And now I'm still getting stuff about what's happening. Yeah, Sean, they don't like her laugh, right? They don't like her shoe size. It's ridiculous. Okay. Oh, speaking of ridiculous, 41. Will Afghanistan. Let me shuffle a bit. Oops, that didn't work at all. Will Afghanistan be able to keep terrorist groups in check once the U.S. leaves? And is it Malcolm Nance who was explaining why they're not going to be able to keep the Taliban out? Something. I can't remember, to be honest. I'm sorry. Afghanistan. Will Afghanistan be able to keep terrorist groups in check? That's a very, when I was reading on this the other day, this was coming up as liberal ideas of family where women are educated. Judgments. That's a refusal of the liberal ideas of education and burden of state. The state on the defensive, the burden of everything that has to be taken care of. One of the ways that the Taliban was able to get the power they did was taking over basic things like trash removal, setting up any kind of school. So it is Malcolm Nance. Thank you, JLo. They took over a lot of things the state just wasn't doing, that the state wasn't in a position to do. And, basic utilities, basic civilization stuff that benefited people. So they were willing to put up with the extremism if it meant their trash should be picked up. So it's the sheer burden that's going to fall on the Afghan government is the problem. That's military. It's going to regress. At least for a while, it's going to regress. This idea, this time period will actually be looked back at with, in the same way that Iran in the 70s was looked at, where you had pictures of women in dresses and going to college and all this stuff, and then that whole, it went horribly wrong. And this is women being educated, and it wasn't just you marry women off at 13 into forced marriages and your economy stagnates, and it's not going to be good. But there were a couple of comments here. Jeanette was saying that's how cartels control things in Brazil. The favelas? I'm afraid I don't know what that is. But I'm happy to learn because, I've told you many times, my ignorance is vast and I can just chip away at it every day. Thank you for letting me know to look that up. Okay. Make a note. Favelas. I will look that up. All right. And there was something. A favela is a slum, says Jeanette. Oh, okay. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you. Appreciate that. I thought I saw something here. Before I go on to the next question, I just want to look for something very quickly. There was something I'm looking for up here. What is going on here? All right, there's something about me and you knowing what I am, and do you know what I am? Meaning me? Autumn. Sorry, I was trying to make sense of that, but I couldn't. So I'm just gonna move on. All right, 4630. Oh gosh, the dumbest, most terrifying thing ever. Dumbest, most terrifying thing ever. Tennessee has a new no permit gun law where you don't need any kind of permit, test, nothing. No background checks, no permit, no nothing. Ay, ay, ay. Hey, Linda. Terrifying. This is terrifying. Tennessee, no, is it going to stand? Tennessee's new no permit. None. No permit. Gun laws. How is this a good idea? How? In what way? And what planet? In what dimension? Yes, I'm surprised it's not Texas. The Lone Star State. This is Strength, Ace of Wands, King of Cups, Page of Wands, Justice. Oh, this is going straight to go straight to court. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. They think, oh, we're going to do this. We're the brute strength thing. Protect ourselves. This is Biden, his administration, and everything behind him. It's almost like the messenger grabs the bludgeon out of their hand and sends a message. Could be an executive order, or it could be the DOJ suggesting the DOJ go do something about this, but somebody grab the bludgeon, grab it out of their hands, and take this to court. Will it stand? Well, the Biden administration is going to be all over this. Okay. Well, states' rights, except when it's not convenient for us, for our side. Okay. So we'll probably go to the Supreme Court, but boy, what's going to happen ultimately to it? Again, I give it the star card. I think that has to do with this feels like school shootings where we're losing, like a memorial where we're losing people. All right, Two of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, Emperor, World, Six of Swords. That's the end of that. They'll try to find other ways to make it. The Republicans will try to find they don't have the power that they had, but they still have things, hot button issues to push the button on. The deep state, the big state, they're coming for you. They're coming to take your guns. It's awful. It's awful. It's awful. But at the end of that old way of doing things, and so they have to come up with a new way to try to game the system or sneak around the back way or what have you. But yeah, that's not going to stand. Ultimately, it may take a while, but that's not going to stand. Nope. Could be Nancy. All right. 50-30. All right, so 50-30, Greenberg. Joel Greenberg, basically, allegedly, Matt Gaetz is, I hate using language like this on the channel, pimp. That's what it is. I don't like using that kind of, I don't like, but reading politics is what happens. So Joel Greenberg, who last I heard had 33 counts against him, is apparently he's accepted some kind of plea deal, and possibly a new plea deal. Is he going to flip like a pancake? Oh, Mama Bear, the Hill just posted that Paul Manafort passed sensitive information to the Russians. I thought we already knew that. So Joel Greenberg, you slime of humanity, the slime underneath the scum at the bottom of the barrel, gonna flip like a pancake? Give the lawyers anything they need to give his lawyers anything they need to make a better deal to Queen of Cups, that's a victim. Hermit, isolated. Priestess, Two of Wands, Nine of Wands again. Is he going to flip like a pancake? He doesn't need to. They've already got so much just based on his communication and the sheer amount of it that he tried to keep secret, but he didn't keep it very well. They want other people, but I don't know that they necessarily... It's like they want him to flip, but they have so much against him. Is he going to turn on the other rotten human beings, including Gaetz, who took part in this vile, allegedly vile stuff that they did? Yes, take advantage of and damage the most helpless people. High Priestess. Well, that's use your higher knowledge and do the right thing finally. Two of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands, Queen of Cups, Hermit again. He knows he's in trouble. This is the whole thing, like when Gaetz gets in enough trouble and he knows he's going to go to jail, on theory, him just crying like a toddler. Because it's one of those things where if you cry hard enough for long enough, your parents step in to fix things. This is the disgusting things that were done. These are the victims. I don't know. I'm just getting there's so much evidence against him. But that should, or maybe it's so much, because of him, there's so much evidence against other people. Does his information, either that he gives them or that they already have from his phone or computer or what have you, does that Okay, sorry, it kicked me off, but I'm back. Knight of Cups. It's the knights who protect the realm. It's the Democratic knights who protect the realm. So like DOJ, FBI. That feels like Tower. Oh yeah, he's bringing down the whole structure. It's been going on for a long time. Prosecutor. If you had anything out there, hello, scum of the earth. If you were talking to Joel Greenberg or someone around Joel Greenberg about procuring a date or sleepover with younger people, you're going to be visited by, it's like in the Christmas Carol, visited by the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. You're going to be visited by the reality of prosecutors, present and future. Because this is symbolic of all of the wands that were used. The whole structure is coming down. Anything around Joel Greenberg is going to crash down. Good. Well, let's jump right here then to 5730. Can I just say thank you for being here? I so enjoy this. I so enjoy doing this with you. Will Gaetz get arrested? Matt Gaetz. Apparently he's always been as awful as he is now. Will Matt Gaetz get arrested? Him and many others. That's what that says, but let's see what the cards here. Entertainment only. I'm just reading on the collective energy. Oh, thank you, Quinoa. Thank you, Belle. Judgment. Knight of Cups. Again, DOJ, FBI, whatnot. Thank you, Marby. Thank you. Appreciate that. Six of Pentacles. World card. Sensing a theme? Four of Pentacles. Is Matt Gaetz going to be arrested? He's already facing, it's all out there, and he's being judged right now. This is law enforcement coming after him, or enforcement that he cannot politically influence. He's always, is there a fine he can pay? Is there a little something he could, it's, and he's being, it's just token support by some Republicans. It's not full-throated. It's not enough. It's a day late and a dollar short, both for what Gaetz wants to do to make it go away and the support he's getting from other Republicans. This is the end of what things have been, and your money and daddy's money not going to help you. No, this is like when you're in jail, because this whole thing's coming down. Let me see if I can get any more information. Yeah, because of what you did. Corruption and young person, and then a symbol. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you. Teresa, he'll need Daddy's 20 million. Daddy's 20 million isn't going to save him. Any more information on Matt Gaetz going to be arrested? Boy, do I want to see that on film. Wouldn't that put the fear into people who've done this kind of thing too? Legal heartache, about as bad as you can get, straight through the heart. Straight through the heart, and you're to blame. Gaetz, you give anything remotely related to you, including just scumbags in general, a bad name. He thought he could do anything. He didn't think about consequences. He never had to think about consequences. That the Wheel of Fortune will raise you up, but it will also grind you underneath. This is, well, I'm too important to want a deal. And this is evidence. Oh, that's not mine. I didn't, and I don't want a deal, and I'm too important. Vaguely Gaetz-ish looking. I'm too important to need a deal. That doesn't mean what it means. Please. Evidence. You're done. And the next card on the deck is... Yeah. Okay. Gaetz, you are toast. All right. Oh, speaking of rotten human beings, 1, 2, 30. Kushner. So, human mannequin, evil mannequin. There was a book for young teens back in the day where this brother and sister ran away from home and they went to the end of the bus line, which landed them at a mall. Obviously, I'm older. And they basically hid in the mall, and they ended up living there for a little while because they had nowhere else to go. But it turns out that, like, the mannequins in the mall were actually sentient beings or something like that, and they had meetings and they were against these kids, or I forget. But that it's like, oh yeah, evil mannequins. Kushner. So, what nefarious thing are you up to? Do it quickly. It does feel like you entertainment only, but what this is saying is your old way of life is make sure all your paperwork's in order. Yeah. Enjoy. It feels like enjoy freedom while you can, but let's see. All right. Well, the things he did that were illegal, immoral, etc. Democrats, we just had to sit by and just watch it happen because he was, because of his position and because of who was in charge of the DOJ and whatnot, he was untouchable. Not so untouchable anymore, because now Trump is back at Mar-a-Lago, and people who believe in his or support him or believe in him, it's just dissolving into chaos, kind of. And this is communication. Oh, they are setting up a what was it? They're setting up he and basically Javanka, they are setting up. Where is it? Here we go. Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump are already working on their next grift. The duo is advising a new group with the mission of perpetuating former President Trump's populist policies. So, a constellation of Trump administration stars today will launch the America First Policy Institute, a 35-person nonprofit group, please, with a first-year budget of $20 million. And the mission of perpetuating former President Trump's populist policies. In the coming months, the group plans to take a large office space near the U.S. Capitol as a symbol that it will fight to be a muscular, well-heeled center of the future of conservatism. Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump are informal advisors. Basically, they're getting money without actually doing much. President and CEO is Brooke Rollins, a Texan who is the head of Trump's something. So yeah, that's communicating Trump's policies. But okay, so that's what he's working on. That's nefarious enough, but that's a big old death guard hanging over him. Grifters, yeah. And they're hoping to, in future, that the budget for the Policy Institute will go up to $40 million. And it's like, really? Sorry about the phone. Six of Swords. That could be going up the river, but let's see. I still think Kushner's in trouble for the money he tried to raise for 666 Fifth Avenue or whatever it was. It's a burden on the defensive because of Trump stuff, but he didn't have the money, and it was stressful. I think he's still got trouble coming, but it's a matter of when. It's just like, can we please pick some of this? Can somebody please pick some of this low-hanging rotten fruit? Okay. And speaking along the same vein, 10815. Will Trump go to Leavenworth? Was the actual question, which is a military prison. Let's have a look. I've never really. One time it got kind of close-ish to seeing Trump going to jail, but that was, other than that, I've never seen him going to any kind of prison. But let's see, Leavenworth. Will Trump go to Leavenworth, a military prison? Leavenworth, a military prison. Will Trump go to Leavenworth? Will he be sent to Leavenworth? As a prosecutor, investigator, prosecutor, and that is the military. That is a military card, but let's see. Well, right now he's still swanning around Mar-a-Lago, which makes me crazy. Just counting his money, but there's so much evidence against him. There's communication. This is not terrible. Communication of, we know he's a bad business person. We know he's got money problems. I don't think he's going to Leavenworth. Matter of fact, I just want the guy to be arrested for breaking the law, which he's done. Uncover the News is Kristen is saying Trump can now be prosecuted as government confirms his campaign worked with Russia. Oh, that was it, Rachel. I think I found the story you were talking about. Secrets of the Shopping Mall by Richard Peck. I think that was it. It's been decades since I read it, but thank you for finding that. Okay, so I can't, in this, Kristen, I can't click on that link. I'll have to go look at it later. I've got to check. I've got to just throw this in there. 111. Major arrests soon. Trump, Gaetz, Kushner, etc. Especially Trump. Oh, yes, please. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you. Are there going to be major arrests soon? Major arrests soon. Trump, Gaetz, Kushner, somebody like that. Junior. All right, legal heartache. Feels like the only one getting heartache about all of this is us. Three of Wands. 10 of Swords. Temperance. Patience. It's a lot to untangle. 7 of Cups. 6 of Swords. Patience. Watching for the ships to come in. There will be arrests. Things will be bad for these people. We have to be patient. There's a lot to untangle, but the swords, the legal swords that will go into to people's backs will send them up the river. Will put people in prison. I don't want to be patient. I've been patient. Okay. 1:13:30. Will we get more stimulus? All right, let's have a look here. Will we get more stimulus? Thank you, Kristen. Thank you. Will we get more stimulus? Feed some kids. Feed some kids. That would be awesome. Yes, please. Insult to injury. 5 of Swords. 3 of Swords. 9 of Swords. Got a Death card in the middle. I've got a 3 of Pentacles, and I've got a Hermit card. I would say no. There are a lot of people worried about not being able to pay their bills, having their electricity shut off, becoming homeless, all kind of legal worries of poverty hanging over them, hoping the ship might come in, but I've got a Death card in the middle. I've got a Hermit out in the cold here, so no. That might be it for stimulus, at least for now. Well, that's depressing. And I don't expect a much better answer from this next question, but let's see. We'll have a look. Is Will the U.S. have basically, is universal health care in the U.S.'s future? Universal health care in the U.S. Universal health care in the U.S. And not like 300 years from now, like within some kind of reasonable amount. King of Pentacles. The Fool. Knight of Cups. Two of Wands. High Priestess. Eight of Pentacles. This would be, it's an idea. It's an idea. And this would be universal. I know it's just the earth, but universal. But taking action universally, but it would be higher wisdom. But then it's just too many lobbyists, the healthcare system, lobbyists having too much power, Republicans fighting against it. Right now, the margins in Congress are too narrow. I never get a good answer on this. Okay. Any more people suffering and dying who don't have to? If there's so much we could do as a country, that prevention and getting healthy people involved in the system, and we end up traumatized and ill, and a lot of people only find out they're sick once it's aggressive, once it's a much bigger deal. You don't get the early warning because people don't get tested the way they should. It's infuriating. All right. I'm actually going to just see if there's a message for us. All right. I've read on 13 things, but let me just let's just do, is there a message for us at 118? Message for us. Okay, let's see. Is there a message for us? Beautiful flowers on the trees outside here. Is there a message for us? Star. There are bad apples, and we look at them a lot here today, but the majority of people are good. And we are all sparks of the divine. We are little pieces of the divine. Every one of us. Don't forget that. Charity. Yeah, just it may seem like you don't have much, and there are things you want that you can't have, and things you need and you can't have, but there are people with so much less. So it's a matter of perspective. Maybe look for it. If you were thinking about donating something, donate. I mean, I've got a bunch of clothes and things I need to donate. Be a good time to do stuff like that. Thank you, Kenya. Just care for other people. Self-care as well, but there's you have more strength than you know, internally, physically. You're stronger than you think you are. But be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Just move in a positive direction. It's very simple. It's very simple. All right. Well, that's going to do it for me for today, but I will be back tomorrow, as I am here every day. Yeah, and at 4 o'clock, it's 1:30 now. In 2.5 hours, I'll be over on Book Art Media for the day's writing sprints and writing encouragement for those creative writers out there. So we do 2 or 3 writing sprints over there. So, and on Saturday, we're going over Lisa Cron, who wrote it's called Wired for Story Genius, about the brain science of storytelling. And I had a request to go over all the notes I've taken over the years. I've been studying writing for decades. But we're going to be going over that on Saturday. But we have writing sprints every day. All right, that'll be over there. But I'll be back here tomorrow to answer 12 more of your mostly political tarot questions. All right, hang in there. You're not alone. Thank you. All right, there are good days ahead. There really are.